Welcome back, GlamFam. It's Angela Denise, and I am here with you today with my fourth and final episode in my Best in Beauty for 2018 on my channel. Now, today it's all about the eyes and the lips. You guys, I am literally a makeup addict. I love eyeshadow. Now, for 2019, I want to kind of diversify my collection a little bit. Number one, I don't want to buy every single warm eyeshadow palette that comes out, but I want to kind of purchase a few more neutrals and even a cool tone eyeshadow palettes. There are a few out there already that I have my eye on. You guys leave your recommendations down below. But I have a few eyeshadow palettes that I want to come and talk to you guys about and actually swatch my favorite shades out of each palette and just kind of talk about why I like them. Now, I'm also going to show you guys what my favorite mascaras and liners and everything like that were for 2019. I don't have too many of them, but I want to go ahead and at least show you guys which ones I like the best. Okay, since my mascara and eyeliner category is super small, we'll go ahead and talk about those first. Actually, I have a brow gel too. You guys should be able to guess which one that was. First is my Lancome Definicells, and I picked this one up during the last VIB sale at Sephora in a gift set that came with the makeup remover and the primer. I like this one because I like the applicator, number one. And I feel like this one gives me length and separation, and it doesn't look clumpy on the lashes, and I can use it for top and bottom lashes. So I'm really feeling this one. I don't really get into mascaras that much. I do like Lancome mascara, so I just kind of stick to that. I do plan on venturing out to the drugstore to pick up some mascaras to use for 2019, so you guys leave your recommendations down below. The next mascara that I really like that I hauled also, I believe, during a recent sale is the Hourglass Caution Mascara. Now, I actually love this mascara. It was a pretty penny. It was like 30 something dollars, honestly, but I really like it. First of all, the packaging is so luxe and it has some weight to it. It's just a beautiful packaging. This one is the Ultra Black, and I really love it. So this one, it does give me some length, but it gives me volume and also separation, and I do like using it on both my top and bottom lash. I am actually obsessed with this mascara, and this holds my #1 spot for my Best in Beauty for 2018. Next, let's go ahead and talk about this one particular brow product that I tried for the first time in 2018. Now, I haven't changed any of my brow products. I love Benefit Precisely My Brow. That's what I have on my brows today. I love it. I'm not changing it. I will try others, but I always come back to my Benefit. Now, so to complement my Benefit Precisely My Brow, I did pick up the 24-hour brow setter. Now, I don't have a lot of brow hairs, so what I like to do is after I fill them in, I like to go in with this, and it is one of those plastic kind of like mascara type ones. I like to go in and brush my brow hairs up to kind of give my brows some texture and for them to look like they are mostly real. So yeah, this is the bomb. Once you set them, they are not moving, and I need a backup because this is the only one that I have, and sometimes I do my makeup while I'm at work, so it really sucks having to take a full-size brow gel with you everywhere. The next item is my eyeliners. So I only tried one high-end eyeliner, I believe, for the first time in 2018, and those were my Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eye Pencils, and I discovered these because of my Sephora point perks. I redeemed some of my points for this Marc Jacobs Blacker eyeliner. I did purchase more than one, but I loved it so much that I decided to go ahead and pick up another shade in Brownie. And I absolutely love this one. It is a really beautiful shade of brown. So I absolutely love this shade because I feel like it's the perfect shade of brown. It's not too light but not too deep, and I love wearing this for work. So this is what I mostly use at work. I don't really put on eyelashes or anything while I'm at work, but I do use eyeliner, and this one is a perfect shade for an everyday basis for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the eyeshadow palettes. Now, I don't want to take too much time talking about the eyeshadow palettes, simply because I have created dedicated videos for most of these eyeshadow palettes that I'm about to talk about. But I will swatch like my very favorite shade out of each palette for you. So I got my baby wipes on deck because we are about to swatch some eyeshadows. By the way, most of these eyeshadow palettes come from one brand. I'll let you guys guess who that is. But first is one that I was actually quite impressed by, simply because I felt like it was one of their best palettes that they've released in a long time, in addition to it being user-friendly and beginner-friendly. And that is the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. Literally, I've had this palette ever since it first launched, and I still have yet to use every eyeshadow in this palette. One thing that I love is it's very lightweight, travel friendly, and it has a amazing mirror, and the price is right for this eyeshadow palette, especially for the shade range that you're getting. So I'm going to swatch the pink eyeshadow that I love out of this palette and the green shade that I love out of this palette. So this is Wild Heart. So that is Wild Heart, and this is Wanderlust. I love good green eyeshadow. This is pretty. So these are two of my most favorite shades out of this palette. It is not a limited edition palette, and if you haven't picked this one up and you love color but you also want to have the ability to create some neutral looks, this is the palette for you. So yeah, I definitely had to show this in my best in beauty. It does not hold my top spot, but it's up there, hence the reason why it is in this video. The next palette that I'm going to talk about is my very first Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette that I purchased back in March 2018. It was hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, that I was going to be purchasing this palette when I seen it. I want to go ahead and make a quick note that I just washed off with a baby wipe the eyeshadows, but that Marc Jacobs eyeliner didn't budge. I'm just saying, it's that good. But anyway, my very first Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette was the Bronze Ambition palette. And you guys, this palette is so pigmented. I think that it's more pigmented than the second mini warm palette that she brought out. It's just a beautiful eyeshadow palette, and I love everything about it. One of the things I'll say about the Pat McGrath mini palettes is that I really don't like this little third flap here. It kind of gets in the way, especially when you're trying to use it and do your makeup. It's just, I don't know, I don't really like it. But one of the shades I will swatch out of this palette is this shade here. And Pat McGrath eyeshadows are just so pigmented, especially this palette. Now, I have been experimenting with some other eyeshadows from different companies, and there are some other eyeshadows out there, but I personally believe that Pat McGrath has the best formula out there, period. Yeah. I mean, isn't that beautiful? Everyone knows that these mini palettes are $55. At the time, I jumped on that opportunity to try out Pat McGrath's eyeshadow formula. So if you guys haven't tried Pat McGrath yet, you might want to check out her mini palettes first to see if you would like the formula and just kind of get comfortable with the formula, because there is a learning curve because they are so heavily pigment. But this is like my beloved, my baby, my first Pat McGrath palette. Absolutely love this palette. I just brought it back out. I haven't used it in months, and I actually had it on in a video the other day, but other than that, I hadn't worn it in months, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to put this one in my Shop My Stash for February. So yeah, love this one. Next, I'm going to go ahead and mention the Pat McGrath for a Holiday 2018, and this is the Metamorphosis palette. Now, one thing that sucks about this palette is that this is not a standalone palette, in my opinion. This is a very pigmented add-on palette. You can use this with like an all matte palette and just kind of bring this one along for your pop of color on your lid or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this color, and this is Gold Standard. And y'all, like, I'm literally lightly patting into this eyeshadow because they are just hella pigmented. This is Gold Standard. When summer rolls back around, honey, you're gonna see this a lot on my eyes. I already have some looks in mind and what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna use a few of these shades in this palette. But yeah, I don't use it a lot. I've only used this palette once or twice since I've purchased it, but I don't regret purchasing it because I purchased the bundle and it was just a better deal to purchase all 3 palettes versus 1 or 2 individual palettes through the Pat McGrath website. Next is the eyeshadow palette that I had on the other day whenever I was doing my best in beauty for my color complexion products, and that is the Pat McGrath Dark Star eyeshadow palette. Actually, whenever I seen previews of Pat McGrath's holiday collection, this is the one that I was most excited about, again because I'm trying to diversify my collection and use more cool tone eyeshadows, and this one was everything to me, honestly, everything. And you guys complimented on the blue shade so much. And this shade is, this is Interstellar. This is the one that I'm going to swatch for you guys. But honestly, this was the palette that I was most excited about. I have used it several times on my channel. I also have a dedicated, very detailed eyeshadow tutorial using this palette that did pretty good on my channel. Just in case you guys haven't checked it out yet, I will try to link all of those videos down below. But this is Interstellar. I mean, it's a beautiful shade. I mean, okay dolls, the next palette that I have is another one from the Pat McGrath holiday collection, and that is the Bronze Temptation one. And you guys, I wasn't as excited for this one, but after I used it, after I opened it up and started swatching, I was so in love with this palette, specifically the green shade. I don't know what's going on with me and the pinks and the greens and the blues, y'all, but honey, it's just so real for me. But my favorite color out of this palette obviously is the green shade. This is the one that I used in the tutorial that I did. If you guys haven't checked that one out, you know, I'm gonna link it all down below, you guys. I'm actually going to try to create a playlist that says eyeshadow tutorials, so that you guys can go ahead and look through it and look at whatever tutorials you decide you want to see. Now, what I will say about this shade is the texture isn't as fine and nice as some of the other shades like this from Pat McGrath, but it doesn't take much to finesse these eyeshadows at all. I just have to put a little bit more effort into it than I did other ones. So this is Supernova. Now, this does look somewhat similar to the green that I swatched earlier from Urban Decay, but honey, that Urban Decay, those colors, the pigmentation and the way they feel, it doesn't compare really to the Pat McGrath eyeshadows. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. But what you're getting for the money and just the versatility of the palette is absolutely amazing, and it's definitely in one of my top spots for 2018, right along with this one. This one is actually ranked higher than the Supernova. I'm actually kind of ranking these in the order in which I'm showing you guys, but this is my very first Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette that I purchased back in April during the spring VIB sale, and I wanted this palette so bad. I just had to have it, and this is the Mothership 3, the submersive one. This will forever be my baby, simply because number one, it's a gorgeous palette, and then number two, it's my first Mothership large palette. So yeah, everyone knows what Pat McGrath, what her large palettes look like. They are very luxe, they are very heavy, they're not travel friendly, and it's all right. But this one is the shade, I'm gonna swatch Gigabyte. This shade is so disgusting. I'm actually going to swatch Gigabyte and Night Creature. Let's do Night Creature first. This is Night Creature. Girl, ugh, it's just so good. And then this is Gigabyte. I did a dedicated eyeshadow tutorial using both of these, I believe, but I know for sure I used I did a tutorial using Gigabyte. I had to. Girl, look at this. Ah! This shade is just disgusting. Like, it's everything to me, and I haven't used it in a while, but honey, in 2019 I have some amazing content in store for you guys, and we are going to use the makeup that we have in our collection. There's nothing wrong with it. I know that the latest and greatest gets everyone's juices flowing and it's super exciting, but y'all, these palettes are investments, so I definitely will be using them often and doing tutorials with them on my channel. But this is my second to favorite palette that I purchased in 2018, and I absolutely love it. These two colors, Night Creature and Gigabyte, they are just everything. I have nothing in my collection that compares to these two shades. Nothing. My number one palette of 2018 is partially on my lids right now, and that is the McGrath Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction palette. First of all, the artwork is disgusting. The packaging is amazing. You guys know how I feel about this palette. So we'll go ahead and let's just look at it, okay? I just get so excited. But this is the Bronze Seduction palette. I have no regrets. I purchased this palette full price because I couldn't wait. It's just beautiful. I think it's a work of art. I think that it is a neutral palette, but you can still be feisty with it. You can still be creative with it. My very, very, very favorite shade out of this palette, of course, is the Rose Gold eyeshadow. I do have that on my lids now. It is stunning. I mean, girl. Rose Gold is everything, okay? It's everything. Okay, let me calm down. I'm sorry. Okay, the next shade that I absolutely love out of this palette, and I haven't even used it on my channel so you guys can see it in action, but trust me, we will get to it all in 2019. This is Bronze Blaze. So it has kind of a similar texture like Supernova, where it's more gritty in texture, but it's still creamy. Somehow, some way, still creamy. Oh, girl, you see how beautiful it is? Bronze Blaze is everything. Rose Gold is just disgusting. I have nothing in my collection that looks this beautiful. This is it on the lids, honey. Oh my goodness, yes. So yeah, look. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. Okay, dolls, that is going to wrap it up for today's tour 2018. These are products that I have in my collection that I absolutely love and would purchase again if something happened to them or they ran out. So you guys comment down below and let me know what your favorite eyeshadow palette was for 2018. Again, this is the final episode in my Best in Beauty for 2018. And it was good. I felt like I discovered a lot of products. One of my goals for 2019 is to really utilize what I have in my collection and make more strategic choices about which makeup palettes that I buy. Now, I have a lot of warm tone palettes, but I do want to try to buy more cool tone palettes to add to my collection. So You guys leave those recommendations down below. And until the next video, dolls, I will see you later. Bye.